Fit Pros, good to see you. Come on in, say hello, let me know that you're here. You know the drill. I want you to give me all the comments, all the hearts, all the fire. That helps Facebook know that we are doing something super cool and interesting. It helps me to know that you're here. I want you to submit all your questions because we have some fantastic guests today. So today we are talking to Fraser Quelch and Jacquese Silvas, and they are going to be specifically talking about what they're going to be doing at FitnessFest coming up on the 22nd, the 21st, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th of this month. So FitnessFest is going to be virtual this time. Next time in September, it is going to be live. And so we have got Fraser up first. He is going to come and talk. He is one of the founders of TRX. We're going to talk about the evolution of TRX. We're going to talk about what he's going to be teaching at FitnessFest. And I'm sure we'll get into some other things. Go ahead and start submitting your questions now so you can get in the queue for that one. After that, we will move on to Jacquese. So say hello. Let me know that you're here. You guys, if you don't know, I'm Kelly Coulter. I am the founder of Fit Pros Connect and the host of this show. I've been a fitness professional for 26 years. And on top of that, I am an online marketer. I've been an online marketer since 1999. So I teach fitness pros how to go online, start a business, and make money. So let's get started. With that, I'm going to bring up Fraser and we are going to get into it. So you guys say hello and give Fraser some hearts and fire. We're going to make us small like that. I think that's better. Hey, Fraser, thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure, Kelly. It's great to be here. I'm excited.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. It is an honor to have you on the show. Fraser is one of the founders of TRX, and I would love to hear, to start out the discussion just with a little bit about TRX, about the evolution of TRX as a product, as a company, and then maybe a little bit about suspension training in general.
Sure. Well, that's a big question. We could probably talk for the whole half hour on just that. But you know, I started with Randy Hetrick is the actual founder of the company, he's creator of the suspension trainer, and so I met Randy back in 2004, which is coming up on 17 years ago in the summertime, and at an event, and he had a product, and I had done some development of education and programming and that sort of thing, and launching new things in the marketplace. And we were introduced through a mutual friend and hit it off at that event and started working together right after that. And I mean, from there, at the beginning, the company was actually called Travel Fit, and the product was called Travel X because Randy's background, for those of you who haven't heard it, he was a career Navy SEAL. Ended up being the commander of SEAL Team 6 before he finished his tenure in the Navy, and then had exited out, gone to Stanford Business College, and created the suspension trainer as part of what he was doing there because he loved the idea of being an entrepreneur and working for himself as opposed to going to work for someone else, and he was obviously passionate about fitness, having with his previous career and just athletic background. And so we met, and I had a thriving personal training practice at the time, and had done a bunch of other, like I said, education development, and we just started to work. But the concept at that point was, hey, this was going to be a great tool to travel with for business people or going on vacation to hang over your door, because that's how Randy had used it when he actually started to develop it while he was in the military. And then he was at a fitness conference that he had launched this, and he and I started talking, and I immediately went and took it and hung it from my squat cage in my personal training studio and started to train myself and all of my clients with it. And soon after that, we just realized that people got that you could travel with it, but maybe the bigger market, the bigger opportunity might be targeted at fitness, both professionals and enthusiasts. And so we started running down the trail of the suspension trainer, what it actually became, and where we ended up landing and making our biggest imprint. So that was the very, very beginning. I was brought on to develop new exercises, new movements, general programming, develop education around it, write our first course, and then from there it kind of rolled. with
Very
lots
cool.
of stuff between here and then. But that's the beginning of it.
Very cool. And I remember the first time I saw TRX trainers, it was a gym here in Columbia, South Carolina called Health Directions. The director at the time was Debbie Bellinger, and she brought in TRX.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember seeing these things mounted from the wall and thinking, well, that is really useful. What a great idea. So I've got people saying TRX is the best. You can get a full body workout with these bands. People are really, really loving them. So I know
it's honestly been a wild thing to see, because at the very beginning, and it's funny you mentioned Deb Bellinger, who became always a great friend of mine and one of our top master instructors. Based well, I mean, I think she's moved since the time that you're talking about. But, yeah, I think that's right. But yeah, I mean, it was really through people like Debbie that we were able to expand. But in the early days, people had no idea what it was or what it did. In fact, the common thing that people come up to in the first time they see it at a trade show or an event or something like that, they grab it and they kind of pull on and look up and say, "It doesn't stretch." And then you'd have to go into this huge thing about how you're using your body as the resistance, and the straps just allowed you to engage in it in a bunch of different ways. So there was a heavy education early on to actually get people to figure out what it was the suspension trainer did and why it was valuable, and they had to feel it in order to get it, at least back then.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think it is about the product and the workout that you get from the product that makes people such rabid fans?
I believe for a long time, long before TRX, that it's your ability to move your body through space that enables both athleticism, a high quality of life, your ability to perform physically, and obviously external resistance becomes an equation of that. But the fact that the suspension trainer is based around moving your body through space, and what it does is enable you to utilize your body weight in a bunch of different ways you wouldn't be able to utilize it without the straps to support one end of your body, whether it be your hands or your feet, or also to give access to movements that you wouldn't normally have access to, because it provides stability and balance to an exercise. So, and that was one of the interesting things as we went around it, that we realized very quickly that, yes, you could train the best athletes in the world using this suspension trainer and challenge them to the nth degree and make them unravel. At the same time, you could take the most deconditioned or rehabilitative people and use the straps to actually assist their movement and add stability or reduce load into the system, even lower than body weight, by assisting with your upper body. And so that was the long way around that question. I think because of the breadth of movement that you can do, there's very little else out there that allows you to do quite as much as a suspension trainer will allow you to do with just a single piece of equipment. And so that incredible breadth and capability is one of the things, and also the fact that it's tied into your own body, and you can move as fast or as slow as you want, assist stretching, address mobility, increase strength, endurance, and get cardio from it. I mean, all of those capabilities made it very difficult actually to describe to people, because that's not a great elevator pitch. It takes you 4 minutes just to talk a little bit about it. But also, once people engage with it, they felt how much of their body was actually working to support your body in that environment. I mean, one of the early taglines that Randy came up with was all core all the time. And while the marketing department loved that, it's actually very true. As soon as you angle your body, your core does fire up, and people naturally felt that. And so all of those things, I think, couple together to create the engagement with the modality.
That's kind of something that's really cool about where we're at right now, with such an Instagram and visual centric type of marketing that everyone's doing, and the fact that a lot of people are making videos all the time. So as soon as you see somebody doing, hands on the floor, feet in the straps, kind of core movements, you're like, oh my gosh, I get it right away. You just can see how much that would work so many different areas, how you couldn't get that type of movement from anything else.
Well, and some of those exercises are very aspirational. I mean, in that kind of environment, you know, seeing people do, and there's a fine line between the stuff that we see on Instagram that is probably falls in the category of you could, but why would you, as opposed to the things that are actually authentically going to develop you in a way that will transfer over into the stuff that you want to do in life and in sport.
Very cool. So at FitnessFest, you are doing a few different things. You're going to do a certification, and then you're also doing two talks on top of the certification. Is that correct? Or 3 talks?
Actually, I think it's 3 sessions on top of the certification. So the 3 sessions are, I've got the evolution of suspension training, which is one of my favorite sessions. We developed it actually last year is when it was meant to launch, and then of course with everything that was going on in the world, we had to kind of hold on to it for a little while. But it's an amazing session on high level coaching, taking the suspension training exercises that people know, probably adding some new wrinkles to them, maybe some new progressions and regressions that people haven't seen, but most importantly, giving people a real system as to how to coach at a really high level, and also a model by which they can progress and regress movements, and the exercise experience that is goes well beyond just suspension training. You could actually apply the system to pretty much any movement that you would ever do. It's one of my favorite sessions, I think, maybe that we've ever done. It's made that kind of impact just in my own training and my own coaching.
Very cool. How did you guys develop that? You're saying it's a system that you'll be talking through.
Yeah, I mean, it was really through years and years of experience of how do we coach at a really high level, driven by research. What makes up high quality movement, and how would you move through that hierarchically, and then what does that look like as you apply it to a modality? And obviously we're highlighting the suspension trainer because that's what we're working with, but honestly it goes well beyond that, into pretty much anything. So the coaching system is there's one thing that we really highlight called 5 critical cues, which are when you put them all together, transformational. They're not unusual. I mean, some of them might be new on their own, but the way they're combined, it's eye-popping, literally, when you actually do them together. And so that's the first thing we'll work on in terms of a really easy system of coaching, that if you get the 5 critical cues right and you can coach them at a high level, there's a good chance that that'll get you 80% of the way to coaching any movement. So that's a very unique element about it. It makes it really easy to bite off and chew on as a professional. And then the system of progression, which we've called the movement modification methodology, is how you actually, I mean, those cues in the coaching, there's more than just that, but those are the main pieces. And then the movement modification methodology is how you might start to look at movement and adjust and modify up and down to meet not just your clients, but the people within a class setting exactly where they are. It's a really easy way to understand not just how to modify, but also why you're modifying, and trying to connect that system modification to what the objectives of the workout or the set or the exercise might be. So as I said, you can tell I'm kind of fired up about it. It's really, really cool content that I think as people like dig into it and engage in it, will be pretty amazing. So I love that session. That's one of my favorites.
I love it. You said something that is one of my favorite concepts to think about, both in fitness and in business, which is that the 5 critical cues will get you 80% of the way there, the Pareto principle. So important. It's so important to remember. And we get 80% of our effectiveness from 20% of what we do. So exactly. Evolution of suspension training, you guys, that one is obviously going to be fire. He is super fired up about it. This is going to be the first time that you've been able to go through that with a group since
No, I've been able to do it. It's actually better than that because now I've practiced it a handful of times, and we've been working on making it a workshop internally. So this audience is going to get it not the first time where you're always still trying to make adjustments and find out what works and doesn't work. We've got it pretty dialed in now, so it's great information. I think it's awesome for anybody who's going to see it. As long as they apply it and do the work afterwards, it's awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. So then 10 steps, the other talk you're going to be doing is the 10 steps.
Well, yeah, there's two other talks. The next one is the Saturday talk, I think, is the 10 steps to creating an ultimate virtual training experience. And, the reality is that the whole industry has had to learn how to do this. And there's entirely new skills involved with creating a virtual training experience and also a different way of looking at it. So what this session does is it basically goes through 10 different points within a client or a participant's interaction with us, not just in the class, but beforehand, because our interaction with creating an experience doesn't start when they turn up in class. It starts when they turn up on our website the first time. And then how they sign up for our class, and then how their experience as they get into our waiting room, and their experience as they get entered in from the waiting room, and then all the way along through the actual class itself and the communication that happens afterwards. And so while the meat of what the virtual training experience we're giving in the class itself, it's important not to forget the bookends to that, because just like when you walk into a club, if you have a very poor experience at the front desk, it's going to piss you off before you've even hit the floor or before you've even gone into the class. And that's even more true in a digital environment where people's expectations are very high. And the bar is set by organizations like Amazon in terms of what they've got a little bit more resources to point at things like that than the average fitness professional. And so how do we go about doing that? And then how does our persona come through a camera? How do we interact with people? How do we create energy in that environment? How do we make sure that what they're seeing is at a high enough level? Because again, everybody's interacting with video content and digital exercise content from organizations now like Apple and Peloton and like TRX, and we've got our own thing that's kind of playing in that space. And so as an individual trying to run a virtual training experience for your participants, I see there's an incredible opportunity for individuals that the bigger companies can't actually do, because they have to work at such a scale that they can't really provide the personal service connection that an individual can, just like with boutiques pre-COVID and post-COVID, because it's not like they're going to go away. So that's what that session digs into, some of the details of how to create an optimal experience for the people that are coming in, because it's not going to get any less competitive.
It's not going to get any less competitive. I love that you said that. And I love that you said that we can serve individuals differently than some of the big boxes. I think there is such a place in the market for every Fit Pro, even online, even though there are Beachbodies and Pelotons in the world that exist. I really believe that they are all competing for kind of the same 20% of the market. And there's this whole 80% of the population that we can still reach and help them to move more, be more healthy. So
absolutely.
I love
and you know what? I think it might even be, we could probably argue the percentages, because I actually believe that people who are going to continue to, I don't think virtual and digital are going to go anywhere. I think it's become part of the evolution of where fitness is. And I think it's a really good thing. It's those people that wouldn't come to clubs before now can come. Those people who are going to miss a workout now don't have to miss a workout. They can deal with the convenience of it, and I mean, in the last 12 months, and certainly in the first 6 months of COVID, all of the world's fitness equipment was purchased. Well, it didn't go into the void, it went into people's homes, right? I mean, people made a significant investment in setting up their ability to pursue fitness in the comfort with the convenience of their own home. And while nothing will ever replace completely and people are excited to get back in the gym, and in different parts of the world, there's different abilities to do that, and some places are wide open, other places are completely shut down right now. And that's going to continue for a little while longer. And then afterwards, there's going to be a reduction in the number of people who really want to do virtual and digital to some extent. So it won't be quite as prevalent as it has been. And there's going to be a reduction of, I think, professionals that are really interested in doing that too. But the people that are going to keep doing it are the ones that will have invested in their space, in their technology, and learn their skills. And so when I say it won't be, it's not going to get any less competitive. That's one of the things I'm talking about. One of the great advantages of virtual training is that you no longer are bound by your 5-mile radius, which if you're teaching a live, a live experience, then you are bound by that, by the nature of convenience.
Yeah.
However, so welcome to the global marketplace. That's great. Also welcome to global competition. Now you're not competing just with the people in your 5-mile radius, you're competing with the world. And so your ability to create relationships with people is more important than ever before, and doing that in a very quick and concise way. Like, how can you resonate with people? How can you connect with them in that environment? And like I said, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for people, but it's going to get increasingly interesting as we go along. And so that's exciting. And that's what that session really digs at.
Yeah, that competition factor really highlights the fact that extra training and care is always going to be needed when it comes to teaching online. And so going to sessions like this one and getting the extra training and getting the kind of critical eye on what you're doing at times is going to be super important going forward. And then the last one that you're doing is your Sunday session, and that is training through all stages. Right.
And training through your stages is it's a very personal session to me, for a bunch of different reasons. One, as I've aged, it's been I have a totally different perspective now than I did when I was, 30 or 35, right? Because I've lived through all of that myself. I'm a lifelong athlete. I continue to compete at a bunch of different things, either participate or compete at a relatively high level. And I've noticed that stages are not necessarily ages. I mean, ages are part of it, but the stages are different. And what I've noticed mostly is that people will have a life event. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be as simple as moving from high school to university, and now you're not on the athletics teams anymore, and so you have to figure out your fitness. That can be enough to push people down under the line, so to speak, and they lose their physique, or they lose their ability to train, or they don't know how to. Being in a new relationship can do it. Starting a new job, getting sick, being injured, getting pregnant, adding kids to your life, whether on the male or female side of things, totally changes things. And then as people age, having health events happen, and it's interesting how people. And when we think about ourselves and also our clients, some of those events totally destroy a person's ability to continue to, continue to engage in the stuff they love to do, or lose their health, or lose their fitness, and compromise the way that they actually are. And that whole idea where people go, well, I guess kind of give up to it. They succumb to, I guess this is just the new me, right? And whatever that definition is. Whereas others will be more combative about the new me. Others will be like, maybe it's the new me right now, but it's not going to be the new me 6 months from now. And they'll pivot back up. And so there's a difference in the mindset of those two approaches. And almost everybody we see from a personal training or even in our group fitness classes have some level of competition with those phases, right? Everything's competing for our time, mostly. That's the biggest thing people say is, I don't have enough time, which we all know is probably not the truth. That's the thing they point at, but there's other things. It ends up being prioritizing. There's self-efficacy to it. There's a belief in it, and there's a resilience to it. And so this session comes from both my observations around that, and then also my own experience. I mean, actually yesterday, it's interesting we're talking today. Yesterday is a 3-year anniversary of I had open heart surgery to repair an aneurysm that I had in my ascending aorta, which for somebody that wasn't like a heart attack, was different. It's something I had my whole life, and which I wasn't aware of. And if it hadn't been seen, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now. It's kind of by accident that we found it.
Wow.
Which is, I feel super grateful around that. But that process of being diagnosed with something that was life-threatening, going through a 6-month period before I could actually have surgery, where you're walking around feeling like a ticking time bomb, even though you'd been ticking the entire time, and then actually going through a major surgery like that, which is, you're likely going to survive it, but there's a chance that you won't. There's a reason they have you sign those things that say, hey, you might not make it. with a young family that I have, and then my experience after that and what I did myself to try and get back into and get beyond, frankly, where I was prior to that was transformational in a lot of ways for me. I have a totally different mindset about things than I had maybe prior to that. And so that's what that session is all about. It's how to apply those learnings to both ourselves as individuals as we work through life stages whenever they happen to hit us, and that we can help our clients through having the empathy, but also the understanding of how to create the mindset that's required to not succumb to a change in whatever, and change in life.
Oh, wow. I love that you called out stages versus ages and how they are different. I think we tend to skip over that so many times, and that's so important. And also, I could jam with you on the mindset stuff all day long. I love talking mindset. So you might see me in that session for sure.
Awesome. I'll look forward to it.
And people are saying in the comments, we're so glad you're okay. You are an inspiration.
I'm absolutely fine, which I'm happy about as well.
And I'm sure your family is as well. Well, we are going to exit you off of here and bring Jacquese on. I know you had a hard stop at the half hour. We thank you so much for being here. I think it was super informative. Even though we just kind of summarized the sessions that you're going to be doing, I wrote down like 10 nuggets of wisdom here already.
Thank you very much, Kelly. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see everybody at the event in not even a couple of weeks. It's going to be fantastic.
All right, beautiful. Thank you. Thanks again. All right, and so that was Fraser Quelch. He is one of the founding members of TRX. Of course, he has some really good talks to give at FitnessFest on the 22nd and after. He is also doing a TRX certification at the beginning of FitnessFest on Thursday. And so now we are going to move into global presenter, international phenom, Jacquese. I wrote down the name of your business, and now it has completely lost POWR'd. It's POWR'd. Let's bring her on and say hello. Hello. It's so good to have you.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Did I say your name correctly?
It's Jacquese.
Jacquese.
Or like on your screen there, Jackie. That's Jackie. So you can call me Jackie. That works.
Well, I love them both. They're both beautiful names.
So I'm excited to be here today. So what are we going to talk about, Kelly?
Oh my goodness. What are we going to talk about? So I want to dig in a little bit. I want to hear about POWR'd. I want to hear about the sessions that you're going to be doing at FitnessFest. And I want to hear a little bit about Savvy, which I know you're super excited about.
Oh, yes. And my baby right here is JACS. So I don't know if I had that down there, JACS Figure on Fit. That is where it all starts. So this is my #1 baby. So this is my studio now. I'm on Zoom. So where should we start?
I love it. Let's talk about JACS.
Okay, let's talk about JACS. So 2020, COVID happened. And it was March, and I had a brick and mortar JACS Figure on Fit. It was happening. It was fun, energetic. My baby, I loved it. Everything. I did personal training and group exercise and small groups. So a lot was happening at JACS, and nutrition and all the things of fitness and health. And COVID happened, and people had just paid me, and I could not let them down. And I started in my living room, and I pivoted right to Zoom. Did not know what I was doing, had to get the right equipment. So over time, within 2 weeks, it got better. I had to bring my A game and pivoted everything to online. Mm-hmm. So my personal.
Okay, you guys, if you are multitasking, I want you to listen up, because I know this was the evolution for a lot of us. It's very similar to what I did. But did you hear what she said? In 2 weeks, it got better. 2 weeks of doing it every day, it got better. And I think that that's really important to people who are still fearing the transition or fearful.
And, don't fear losing your people. We take care of our people. We have our community. We love our communities. So let that fuel the fire. Remembering to keep the community together, keep what you established together, because it's so important to our lives, the people that we're touching. And that pivot, it was in my living room at first. So I moved things around. if you saw my makeshift things, it was just like every day I walk in the front door going, oh, this is a mess. I can't handle it. But then I would get on and I teach a class, and it was amazing. And people were with me, and they were for me, and I was for them. And so I finally said, I'm going to do this. And, you know, my lease was ending in August, so I had some decisions to make as gyms were opening, closing. At one point we opened, and I had my dance fitness use the gym, and I just continued online. But I created this room, so this is my room now. I have an exercise room in my home where I do all of my Zoom now, and I'm 100% online. I did not renew my lease in August. And so I have not stopped. So now we're almost hitting August 2021, and I'm still going strong, and probably stronger because there is opportunity. And I heard Fraser say that there's more competition with regard to, we're a little more global now. I have people from Atlanta, from Texas, where I even have instructors that I no longer have to look for local ones that live in that 5-mile radius. I have opportunities to get everybody involved. And, you know, I'm a master trainer for Extreme Hit Chaos. And so I don't know if you know Carolyn Erickson, that's hers. And she subbed for me, teaching her format. How amazing is that? She lives in San Diego. I live in Arizona. So that was like a God-given, yay, thank you. They have an opportunity to be with the creator of that group exercise. So that's way cool. So lots of opportunity.
Very cool.
Got to look for the opportunity and not fear the change, because there's so much information out there for us to have great volume. I mean, Zoom has even adjusted, realizing so many fitness professionals joined, because at first they didn't have all the tools. They have changed some of their systems so we can have our background music and our music pumping, right?
So I heard the other day, one of my accelerators noticed that they're doing something specific to fitness instructors. I haven't gotten to check it out yet. Have you seen this?
Well, I'm not sure if that's what I'm talking about, because I know looks like they're always making some changes, because I have been adjusting my sound some lately. So maybe they are.
I think this is like membership management and like a full fitness management platform.
It'd be great, because that means they would up the game. Because I tell you, I absolutely love Zoom. I did not at first, but, you know, I've adapted. I'm able to have my sound come in strong, my voice come in strong. And, you know, lighting sometimes is what I'm working with in different parts of the day. I say my light changes a little bit in my little room here, but I am so thankful that we have this technology. And I just want to impart to anyone out there, don't fear the technology side. It's actually a piece of cake. It really is. You know, the other parts that we do, our hearts, putting together programs, that's the challenge. Let's keep that A game going, and that technology stuff. There's so many tools out there and so many things on Amazon that you can purchase to improve your camera, to improve your lighting, to improve your sound. So don't fear that. Just do it. You know, it's low overhead. Just do it.
I love it. So you mentioned two things that I want to kind of circle back on. And the first is that the technology stuff is figure outable, right? The thing that we do, you guys, what she said is so true, Jackie. Thank you. Not everybody could get up in front of people day after day, week after week, sweat in front of them, dance in front of them, show your heart and your soul in front of people. That is kind of the unteachable, most valuable piece of what we do. The Zoom stuff, we can get through that. I'll teach you that in the boot camp on the 26th if you don't know that by then. So we've got that piece. Don't let that make you afraid. And then the other piece that you said was, you mentioned program design. And I know that is one of your sessions that you're doing at FitnessFest. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Okay, so that one is my first session on Friday at 1:35 PST time. And it is setting up some protocols for all of us to give us lots of opportunity in having some variation, some variety, building programs for our clients, whether you're teaching dance fitness, whether you're teaching kickboxing, step, circuit training. It's protocols that you can apply science to. So we can't forget, when we come to all these conferences and we pick up these nuggets and we take these CECs to continue our education, we don't just do it to get those CCs. I know we need to get renewed, but we need to apply it to what we do. So we're giving absolutely the best, giving people the opportunity to stay safe, opportunity to really work their bodies the way they're meant to be worked. Looking at the stages of life, looking at protocols for HIIT. I see so many things out there that are labeled as HIIT that aren't really high intensity interval training. So we need to remember what HIIT really means and apply that and use the science behind it. So that protocols is going to be setting up a lot of circuits mostly, but showing you how to apply all of the science to setting up a really phenomenal workout. Workouts don't have to be 2 hours. They don't have to be an hour. So many of my workouts are 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So I'm just setting up some protocols to do some total body fitness as well. So you can do training, you can do total body. There's so much you can apply. But the key, and the reason why I felt so compelled to do this, is to ensure that we're doing this with fidelity, with high expectation that you're going to get a good outcome, a good workout, and safely and based on protocols that are based on science. So that's the whole opportunity there. I'm a personal trainer and group instructor, and so I've learned a lot over time, staying certified through those things, and I just try really hard to apply it. And so I'm going to try to impart that. So come to that session. I think that's my favorite and my best session. And
that's Saturday?
Saturday is going to be a fun one. So now we've done the freestyles, I'm going to give you one of my powered workouts.
Oh, so wait, let me clarify real quick. So Friday is your session on protocols, on freestyle protocols.
Correct. Friday at 1:35 PST time.
Okay, thank you.
1:35 to 3:25. And so Saturday is going to be awesome because I do have a business called POWR'd. So that was like weird timing because I partnered with a friend with POWR'd. So we had started working on POWR'd with some partners who designed our system in December. And then COVID happened. So it's 100% online. So it's a personalized fitness program that has mind, body, all of it. And we've now been adding in guided workouts with us also doing the workouts. So you have that personalized nutrition, whether you're keto, vegetarian, just everything is on there. And it's all personalized. And that's 100% independent. Mm-hmm. And so what happened, that was birthed on February 14th, 2020. What timing was that? What timing? So bizarre because people were able to jump on and do their things independently. Mm-hmm. And you have a choice of home or gym. So you can switch it. And now we're at home. So a lot of people were able to switch that to home. And some of the gyms open up, you can switch it back to the gym. So what's so cool is Saturday, we're doing a bash. And Jennifer and her name is Jennifer Taylor, we will be doing one of our powered workouts, one of our guided workouts that we posted. So we're so excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of good energy. It's a circuit training, and it's going to hit the total body. And it's just fun.
Love it.
And effective.
Fun and effective. I love it, love it, love it. So, and that's going to be at what time?
So that is Saturday at 12:10 to 2. So that is actually in conjunction with Pound. So Janice has both two people. So you have two workouts. So it's amazing. It's
oh my gosh, how much fun is that?
Right? Pound. I don't know who's doing it, but I know that's a great energetic workout. So the two combined is going to be absolutely just fun.
Yeah, I'm not going to work out before that.
No, right? We were always so sore after a conference.
So sore and so happy.
So happy. Oh yeah, it's a great sore for sure. Yeah.
So POWR'd is kind of a platform, and JACS is where you're really doing most of your teaching, correct?
So JACS is live. So JACS, you're I have a schedule. So you're in a private group, or you're in a group class, bigger group, or you're one-on-one personal training with me. So that's JACS. So that was my brick and mortar, now all on Zoom. And POWR'd, it's POWR'd, POWR'd .online. That is simply independent, and you get to work at your own pace when you want to work out. So it's all personalized. So you put in your data, and the system sets it all up for you. So your macros are created for you if you're doing the nutrition piece. Your exercise for the month is created. It rotates, and every exercise is demonstrated, whether you're at the gym or at home. And then now, as I said earlier, we have a guided section where now if you want to do group classes, because we had a lot of feedback, well, we want to see more of you teaching us. So Jennifer and I have some workouts on there. We have about 10 so far. We're going to continue to add on where you're working out with us, except it's not live, is whenever you, so it's like an on-demand, whenever you're ready to do it. And so you become a member and you pay monthly, it's automatic payment. So it's just a great program for people who want to do independent work.
I love it. I love it. Very cool. So the last thing that we said we wanted to talk about today is clothing, fashion.
Yes. Before I say that really quick, Sunday I have a boot camp.
So thank you very much. I missed that one.
Okay. It's okay. Totally. So Sunday is at, I think 7. Oh, it's in the morning. So it's an early one, 7 o'clock to 8:50, something like that. So I have a little bit of lecture, kind of like on the protocol, just showing you how I set the boot camp up, why it's set up that way. And then we're going to hit it first thing in the morning. How awesome is that on Sunday? So it's like rise and shine and then go into the rest of your conference. So that's Sunday. So now let's talk Savvy. I have us in Savvy right now.
So cute.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is an organization that is just not normal. And when I say not normal, it's about community. It's so empowering. And I originally said yes to partner with them because of the practicality of having another revenue stream. And athleisure wear is on the rise before COVID. And then COVID, it really went up. So athleisure wear comfort mode. So we have 3 lines: fitness, everyday, and a luxe line, a little more luxurious. And I said yes because of the clothes. But I tell you what, this company, I'm looking for partners. This company is so much more than the clothes. Our clothes are fantastic. I'm talking Lululemon, Nordstrom quality, and we just keep leveling it up. So we're right now in a pre-launch mode. So as pre-launch, we're still getting things right. And I tell you what, we keep getting it right. We keep upping the game. I was just in St. George doing this amazing live fashion show that we dropped 2 Fridays ago. And it's incredible what's happening, and the vibe and the community and the people. Petra Culver's there, June Kahn, Janice Jake. So many of us have joined and partnered with them. And I'm looking for more partners. So you guys, if you're looking for another stream of income, men also, we have men in our company. And of course they don't wear the clothes, but they're with us. And we have so much that we provide. It really is for us busy people. And I'm super busy. My life, when I say super busy in a very positive way, I have a lot of things going on, and it fits so nicely into that lifestyle because it's kind of a wear and share. They do all the work for us, the co-founders, and we just wear and share and bring people aboard. So thank you for asking about Savvy.
I love it. I love it. I know Janice is really into it. I can't wait to hear more about it and feel the clothes when I can see you in person.
Yes, I hope that soon.
Yes. So beautiful. So you are doing a session Friday, session Saturday, session Sunday. Sunday is your boot camp. I know I've got a lot of other instructors who are commenting right now. I love Savvy. I love being a part of it. I've got a few instructors in the accelerator who are also part of Savvy. So thank you for sharing that information as well.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys. And with that, I have been trying to make these shows just a little bit shorter for you guys because I know the hour mark was getting to be a little much. So we are going to cut it there. I hope that you guys got a lot out of that. You guys, Fraser and Jacquese or Jackie, are both in the group. Tag them with questions. They will be happy to answer. Of course, Janice Jacques is the head of FitnessFest, and she is in the group as well. You guys, if you have not already registered, get on out there, make that happen. FitnessFest happens the 22nd.
And Kelly, you guys, don't, you can use the code April50 and you get a little discount.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yes, April 50, and it's
FitnessFest.org.
Thank you. It's fitnessfest.org, but I don't have written down what the 50 is off. I know Janice is watching, so she might be able to tell us in the comments.
April 50, maybe it's $50 off.
I feel like that's what it was.
I feel like that too.
I just don't want to commit anybody to anything, so I'm not saying it out loud. All right. Yes. And Lonnie put in the comments, April 50. She's so awesome. She does so much for us.
She does.
All right, y'all. That is what we've got. Jackie, I'm going to let you off the screen and I'm going to just
All right.
wrap things up and I will see you soon. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
All right, you guys. So FitnessFest happens April 22nd to the 24th. And there are pre-conference trainings. We've got the coupon code that April 50. Get in there, get registered. I am speaking as well, and we didn't even talk about my sessions, but I am doing the 3 mindset shifts that you need to make as a fitness entrepreneur. So this is one of my favorite talks to give. I talk about making decisions from future you. I talk about your comfort zone, and I talk about the first point is no one is coming to save you. That's a whole thing. I love giving this talk. It is so much fun. People get so much out of it, and they really come away with a different way of thinking about our current situation and what to do going forward. And then the other session that I am doing is my 3 biggest tips for making an impact and an income online. And of course, as an online marketing professional for 21 years now, I have a few things to say about making an impact and an income online. So you guys get out there, get registered. Let's do this. Want to mention one other thing. Registration is open and the Facebook group is open for the next boot camp. That happens April 26th, right after FitnessFest. That is a week where I come on live every day. I teach, we do brainstorming, we do networking, we do implementation sessions. We are going to build your website together if you don't already have one. We are going to talk about music licensing. We're going to talk about growing your social media following. We're going to talk all the things. So that happens April 26th. Registration is open, and that is at fitprosconnect.com/bootcamp. So that's that. I will be on Clubhouse at 4:00 today. Jump on in. We're going to be doing social media audits, and you can get your social media audited by Faye Callingen, who is a social media expert that I've had come in and speak in the Virtual Studio Business Accelerator, and she's amazing. And that's what we'll be doing at 4:00 on Clubhouse. So you guys, that's it. Thanks for being here. See you soon.